Everybody, I'm here with my top decks for the year of 2020. Now, I usually like to do like a top 5 or something, but this year I actually did not buy a lot of decks. And a couple of the decks that I did end up getting were a bit of a disappointment, i.e. the Occult Tarot and the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot weren't kind of like I can't put them in top 5 just because I was disappointed with them on various levels. But I do want to show you my top 3 for the year. Like I said, I didn't buy a lot, so that's why it's a top 3. But these 3 are, they're goodies. So I did still, want to share them with you. And I'd love to know what you think about these particular decks. If you have them, if they're on your list, what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear about it. And I'd love to see what your top decks are as well. I've seen some other YouTubers making like a top 10 list, top 5 list, and I love watching those things. So if you have one, let me know. Put it in the comments below. But let's switch the camera around and I'll show you what decks that I have for 2020. So number 3 on my top 3 is the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron-Reid. Now, I generally quite like her decks, and my 2 favorite decks by her are Wisdom of the Oracle. I like the Enchanted Map, and I do like the Spirit Animals. So I guess those are my top 3. I was really hoping that this one would be a new daily draw Oracle deck for me, but I like this deck, but it doesn't quite make the daily draw thing for me because I don't feel like this deck has enough shadow. It has a little bit, but not a lot. But I still really like this deck. I think this deck is really great for if you're working with chakra energies or you're looking to just bring a little more positivity. It's a warm hub deck. I actually am using this right now as my Venus deck. So whenever the moon is in Taurus, I pull a card from here to really talk to me about beauty, bringing beauty into my life. You've got your typical guidebook here. I don't like that it's matte. I think I've said my feelings about matte decks. But I find them kind of hard to shuffle and hard to pick up. The artwork is really beautiful. It is a really lovely deck, beautiful to look at. It's a very positive deck, like I said. It's just as a daily draw deck, it's a little too positive for me. I need a little bit of shadow because not every day is going to be perfect and wonderful. I do think though that this does still give accurate readings. I think if you need a warm hug, and I mean this year we probably need a warm hug, that this is a good one. I do wish that it made it a little clearer each one which chakra it is, but I think again the artwork is stunning. It reads really well. It is really good for if you are doing some work with your energy centers. I think it's really great for that, and I really enjoyed receiving this, and I hope that we'll see what her next deck is. And what theme we'll have on the next deck. But I do like it, and apparently there's also a journal you can get now with this if you're working with your chakras that you can journal with. So I think if that's something you're looking at doing, it can be really great for that. So I quite like this deck. I love the artwork. And I love the rainbow on the back as well. So that is one of my top decks. The next deck is the Darkwood Tarot. Love this deck. Artwork of Abigail Larson. When I saw that this was coming out, it was kind of a bit of an impulse buy because I saw her work. I didn't actually know a ton about her, but her work is really nice. And so I thought, oh, this will be cool. And I do like the new sturdier Llewellyn boxes. Comes with, of course, a nice book. The artwork is gorgeous, full color, wonderful. The deck itself is beautiful. It has these borders, but the borders kind of are just like the picture continues into the border, so I don't mind them at all. I love sort of it has these greens and reds in it, a lot of olive greens with these pops of red. I've used this as my September deck because to me it really speaks of fall colors. It's got like a darkness to it. Love that 3 swords. That heart is very anatomically correct. It's very feminine and it's very witchy, and it has a very fairy tale type of vibe to it. It's got a sort of Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty type of vibe. It's trolls. There are males in this deck, but it is heavily feminine. It's just a very beautiful deck. I paired it with the Vampire Oracle, the Les Vampire Oracle. I thought those two worked together really, really well. It's just, you know, it's an aesthetic that I really enjoy. I love this ram. It's a very satanic ram. I like it. Let's just, you know, he looks like kind of the way they draw the satanic ghosts sometimes. But just have like a dark, witchy, feminine, mysterious storybook quality to it, which I really love. Love these red pops there. Very, very beautiful. Lots of crows and ravens. Like the mushroom with the little imps all around it. Lots of vampire sort of energy. It's very beautiful. So I did enjoy working with it, and it's got foxes in. So I'm always happy when there are foxes around. Now the next deck, and probably my top deck of the year, and if you've been watching this channel, will not surprise you, is the Glwetia. Again, no idea how to pronounce that, but it is a beautiful, beautiful deck. This was a Kickstarter. It is a low Scarabeo deck. There is going to be a mass market version coming out of this. I don't believe you can get the Kickstarter version anymore. I don't know what the mass market version will look like. You know, if it'll be comparable to this, but this is a beautiful deck. It was pricey, probably the most priciest deck I've ever gotten, but I think it was worth it. It's beautiful. It's a piece of art. Even the box is beautiful. You open it up, you've got the book here. The inside is even got this beautiful picture. I love this book. It's well thought out. You've got like you've got a full kind of illustration here of the card. You've got the seal there. You've got a description. It's well thought out. You know, I was disappointed in the occult tarot because it seemed very slapped together, and like the person had no idea what he was talking about when it comes to demons or fallen angels. But this one talks really about how, you know, the history of kind of where it comes from. It also talks about how they're symbolic of, you know, our fears and things and all the negative things, the shadow side of us that we don't want to acknowledge all the time. It also came with this beautiful art print here of Lucifer. Very cool. There was an error in one of the cards. I haven't opened it. I don't mind that the error is there. Got a ribbon here. It's this beautiful black velvet. And then the cards are just gorgeous. So the box came with 6 coins with like the seal of Solomon and some other occult symbols on them. I only had 4, but they were very kind, and they sent me like not just the 2 I lost, but all 6 of them and another bag to go with it, because it also has a velvet bag for holding. So I was very pleased that they sent me that. It was very nice of them to do so. Card quality is wonderful. It's also got like, it's black on the side. I have seen like a little bit of chipping with the black, and it is because like when you shuffle, but you could probably recolor that, but it is just gorgeous. And then of course the deck itself, like it's holographic. Like how awesome is that? And it's beautiful, and it's well thought out. I would use this still more as an oracle than a tarot deck, just because I would go more with what each of the fallen angels mean, as opposed to sort of its connection with that the author ascribes to the tarot. But still, it gives you like the planet associated with the zodiac sign. It's got the little sigil here. It's got it's got the name here. This is Andreolaphus, and it's got the 3 of Pentacles as the association, and then also has its elemental symbol down there. So very, very beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're just so well done. And so shiny and rainbowy. It's black and silver, and it shows up very holographic on film. Folklore. It's one of my favorites. Astaroth. So it's very, very beautiful. And then they've got some extra cards in here too, like that one. That's sort of each of the elements. Gamigan, one of my favorites. There's Gamigan. I'm going to continue with the series. I'm slowly making my way through it, but I am going to continue with the series if you're interested in that on each of these so-called demons. But it is a beautiful deck. Like it's just gorgeous to look at. And I don't read with it a lot, but it is just like, to me, a wonderful piece of artwork. Very, very different, very unusual. So I do really love this. And that is my #1 deck this year. And I mean, hey, it's 2020. My favorite deck this year is a deck full of demons. I mean, how 2020 appropriate is that? So those are my top 3 decks. I mean, I go through these phases where I buy a bunch of decks and then I don't. And this year was just one of those where I don't. And I don't know if it's just I'm getting fussier. I'm also kind of been whittling through my collection to see which ones I want to like give away or sell or trade, and just keeping the ones I really, really love. So I think I'm just getting a little fussier about it. So we'll see next year. I do have 3 I'm waiting for already on order. And we'll see how they are. So, you know, they might make my 2021 list. Let me know what you think of these decks. Yeah. And let me know if you like any of these, if any of these are on your list. Are you interested in getting the mass market version of this? I would love to know. So those were my top 3 decks for the month of 2020. Reminder that I do have on my Etsy shop, I have my year ahead 12 house goddess and god reading. It's based on the 12 houses of the zodiac, and it helps you to know what areas in your life, what's going to go on in them, what archetypes you're working with, what deities, what energies, all that kind of stuff. It is at 20% off this whole month until the end of December. So it's a great way to get a look ahead at 2021 and what archetypes and things you might be working with, what themes, what's going on. So if you want to check that out, I've got a link down below to that. As well, if you want to check out my Patreon, I would really appreciate that. And a big shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you so much for all of your love and support this year. It's been amazing, especially through this crazy, crazy year that we've had. Thank you so, so much. And a big, big shout out to Nicole, Nathan, and Marie. Thank you for your support. As always, guys, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Let's hope that 2021 is better. And as always, peace and love.